Alright fellas, this is my new Oregon 520-120, and I finally was successful in doing a reverse rotation modification on it. So first off, I'm going to show you that it works. Let's see, on, and this is in forward. Sparks going that way. Gonna put it in reverse. Sparks going that way. Okay, so now everyone said it couldn't be done. Well, I did it. There's not much information out there. I found that one right there. I think it's a fella out of Australia, and looking at this, there was something odd, and but it was good enough for me to get a visual on it in my head to figure out how to do it right, how to do it correctly. What I wound up doing, well, originally, this is the original setup right here. You have, yeah, the on and off switch right there, and you have green, red, black, and a dark blue, and then you have the blue for the light, yes, and it just goes to the motor. A second toggle switch is needed. What you have to figure out, that second toggle switch, what you have to do is you have to figure out which wires are for your start windings and your run windings. And your start windings right there, you have to take your capacitor and flip it. So since the wirings on these little grinders are not labeled T1 through T8 or whatever, they're just color coded. You got to ohm them out. And your dark blue and red, that's your start windings. And your, what is it, green and black, that's your run coil. Once the start coil gets the motor turning whichever direction you want it to, then your start windings take over and keep it up to speed and keep it running. So your start coil, the ohms will always be higher. In this case, my ohms were a lot higher. So once I knew which ones they were, red and blue, you take your initial on-off switch right here, and the red and blue that goes to your motor, you have to put it on the top of another switch. You have your dark blue going to your motor and your red going to your motor. Now your red coming from your first switch comes into the center, and the dark blue from your capacitor is coming into the center. That's key. It's the capacitor. You have to take that, and when you go into reverse, see, this is normal. The top one, the top leads, that's normal operation, going to your motor. It's as if you were just coming off your first switch and everything is just going to your motor, nothing in between. But since you want to switch it, you gotta, this second switch is required because you have to put some jumper wires right here and here. So when you turn your switch to the back right here, now all of a sudden your dark blue is coming right there, but then it's coming back up and it's swapped. It's coming off to your red. And again right there, this one's coming to the bottom, and your red is coming all the way back up to the top to your dark blue. So essentially, your start coil right there is like this. And whenever you hit it in reverse, boom, there it is. This was my third attempt. There's not much information on it. They said back in the 80s, the switch was what was making the grinders reversible, and UL would not give them a listing. They couldn't get a UL number, so because it was dangerous. I mainly did this because they said it couldn't be done, or that it shouldn't be done, or that they know better than me. Well, I can see the benefits of reverse rotation already. There's no more rollback. You have a much sharper chain. Original factory chains are ground on a grinder, and the big industrial grinders are reversible. But for me and you, the small guy, oh no, you can't do that. Just go buy a new chain. The hand files are great, but you know, I don't have the patience for that. I'm not that skilled with the hand files. This right here is fantastic. I really love it. Now what you got to do is you take this. Okay, yeah, let's look at the switch. This switch, this thing probably made in China. This thing is junk. You see that? You see them blades, terminal blades? That is designed to fail over time, over use. They'll get warm, they'll get hot eventually, and the blades get weak and they slide off. Once they slide off, it doesn't work anymore. Get rid of this junk crap. What you want is a switch like this, actually two of them for this modification, with some terminals in the back that you can screw onto it with a little bitty lock washer, and the terminals that you're going to use to put on there. Look, get some eye terminals like this. You put that on there, you screw that down, finish business, boom, forever. No more problems. I don't even know if you can still get these switches anymore. These were aircraft electrical switches that I had laying around. And when you take the original switch out, you're going to be left with a hole on top of there that's going to look like this. This is one of my first attempts. You got to cut you a little piece of metal bracket. This one is a little piece of stainless steel. It's not very thick, but it's strong as hell. And what I did, I got my switches. I put both switches, one right there and one right there, and you just cut it to fit. Then you got to secure it down with a couple of boulons, a tapet boulon, and that's what I did. I have forward and reverse on the top switch, and that one right there is my main switch, my main on and off. And once you know what you're doing, it's real simple. Once you figure out which one is your start windings, it was simple. Again, it took me three times, 3 modifications, 3 attempts. It did not go poof on me, thank goodness. The wife was going to kill me if I burned up my brand new machine, but it works. It really does work. That's it. Okay. Again, figure out which one's your start windings. And for this one, it's dark blue and the dark red. And then your run windings are green and black. Once you know what that is, then you can do that. I hope y'all can see this. My little video camera is kind of old. Ok, c'est bon, c'est tout.